Hi, I'm Chris. I'm the Kansas chair of the National Parents Organization, and I'm also the author of the Dad's Divorce Guide. But today I'm here to talk to you about op-eds and letters to the editor. So let's get started. First, what is the difference between an op-ed and a letter to the editor? All right, first, a letter to the editor is usually a short, focused response to a recent article, editorial, or event covered by the newspaper. An op-ed, now that's a little bit longer piece that you submit for consideration, sharing your viewpoint on an issue like shared parenting or family law reform. If you're new to this, start with a letter to the editor. It's a great first step. Both formats can influence public opinion and decision makers. All right, let's talk about why your voice matters. There are many people that believe that the family court system is broken, but lawmakers and the public won't know how widespread the concern is unless they hear it from you. So op-eds and letters help raise awareness about the need for shared parenting laws. They put pressure on courts and lawmakers to prioritize children's well-being, and they show that the family law reform has broad public support. Your voice adds to the growing call for change. All right, the next thing is to know your audience. Before you write, read the paper. Figure out who the typical readers are. Is it a small-time paper? Is it a big city outlet? Is it conservative or progressive? Frame your message in a way that connects. For example, you can say, no matter your politics, we can all agree that kids do best when both parents stay actively involved after divorce. All right, the next tip is to keep it short and focused. For letters to the editor, you only want about 150 to 250 words. For op-eds, they're usually about 500 to 750 words. Don't try and cover every problem with the family courts. Focus on one key point, and those can be why shared parenting should be the starting point in custody cases, how outdated laws hurt kids and families, or your personal experience with the system. Keep it short because if it's too long, it's not likely to be published. All right, let's talk about how you can use a simple structure to get more attention for your story. First is the hook. Start with something attention grabbing, a fact, a personal story, or a connection to a recent news story. Next, explain your point. Clearly state your opinion and back it up with facts, personal experience, or both. Last, have a call to action or a conclusion. End with a strong statement about what needs to change, a new law, more public discussion, or policy reform. All right, the next tip is to be respectful even if you're frustrated, because really nobody wants to listen to somebody who's just complaining. So family court battles are emotional, we know that, but angry, hostile letters rarely get published, and they won't win hearts and minds if they do. Speak firmly, but stay respectful. It shows maturity and keeps the focus where it belongs, on improving outcomes for children. The next tip is to use personal facts and stories. The simple fact is that facts build credibility. For example, over 60 studies show that kids do best when both parents stay involved after divorce. Personal stories create an emotional connection. For example, as a father who spent 2 years in court just to see my child, I know firsthand how broken the system is. Together, facts and personal stories are hard to ignore, so use those in your message. All right, next is to follow the paper's rules. Check the newspaper's website for a word limit, submission method, whether that's email or online form, etc., the required information like the name, city, or phone number. Editors will often reject submissions that don't follow guidelines no matter how strong the message is, and this goes the same for TV stations and any other news outlet that you may have. All right, I want to give you a quick example of a very short letter to the editor. Dear editor, our state's family court system is overdue for reform. Right now, too many loving parents and their children suffer from outdated custody laws that don't reflect what research shows. Kids thrive when both parents stay involved after divorce. As a parent, I've seen the emotional toll the current system takes. We need shared parenting laws that start with the assumptions that both parents should have equal time, unless there's clear evidence otherwise. It's time for lawmakers to put children first and fix our broken family courts. Sincerely, your name and your city. This is a very simple, short example. You can obviously customize it for whatever your situation is, but keep it short and keep it to the point. All right, I'm going to give you some final thoughts. Change starts with speaking up. Writing an op-ed or letter to the editor is a simple, effective way to advocate for shared parenting and family court laws. You don't have to be a legal expert. You've lived your experience. Your concerns for your kids and your voice are powerful tools for reform. Let your community and your lawmakers know that family law should focus on what matters most, helping children maintain strong, loving relationships with both parents after divorce. All right, I want to thank you for watching this, and I want to thank Mark Ludwig for putting this on. Him and his team have done a fantastic job of putting all of this information out there. Again, my name is Chris from the National Parents Organization Kansas chapter, and I'm also the author of the Dad's Divorce Guide. If you want to check it out, it's dadsdivorceguide.com. You can check it out at the website there. And really want to thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I hope you go out and use these tips to help advocate for better conditions for parents and families all over.